In this video, we are going to explore a little known side of Google Maps. We are not going to talk about the GPS function, nor about the app made more powerful than ever thanks to Gemini, not even the somewhat supernatural things you can find on Google Street View. No, we are going to talk about the business feature, meaning what happens when we write a keyword plus near plus a specific location. Well, so far, nothing new. This has been done 1,000 times already. Curiously, what we have seen a tiny bit less often, practically never in fact, is the filtering part. What I mean by that is that not all businesses in our list are necessary. If you have a service to sell, a business listing such as this one is more relevant than that one, if you know what I mean. We are looking for businesses with incomplete profile, with this mention claims this business, or with bad reviews, or very few reviews, or both at the same time. That works too. The idea behind it is that it's no big deal to narrow it down from 5,000 to 50 leads as long as the remaining ones are interesting. You just need to filter them efficiently. You can sort them out manually for sure, but I might say it's particularly time-consuming. Google Maps has its own smart filters. Why smart filters? Because they are somewhat correlated to the keyword. If you type restaurants and you click on all filters, well, the first thing you're gonna see is a price slider. Now, if you switch it from restaurant to, let's say, hotels, I get something like the hotel class and the hotel amenities. However, if I tap anything other than hotels or restaurants, I end up with no more than 2 filters. They are no longer customized, they remain the same no matter what. The rating and the opening hours. Now, the rating one is particularly interesting. Why is it interesting? Well, because it reflects the reputation of a business. Tomorrow you see a rating between 4 and 5. Well, everything is fine. Honey, this place looks great, let's go. Now, if a business has a rating between 3 and 4, well, it's no longer the cream of the top, but if you are on your own, why not? However, if it is between 2 and 3, let's say there is approximately a 0% chance you will ever set foot in there. Personally, I regularly pass by a restaurant that has a 2-star rating based on 72 reviews. 2-star rating, like the number between 1 and 3. I don't really know why it has such low rating, but oddly enough, I don't feel like checking it out by myself. And that's why the filter is named rating at least. It's because as consumers, we generally want a minimum score. We want all places with at least a 3 stars or a 3.5 stars rating. From our perspective, it makes sense. But from a service provider point of view, these filters are completely useless. Precisely because we want the exact opposite. We are looking for companies that are literally losing customers every single day because of their bad reputation. But how many are there? In New York, there are roughly 8,500 restaurants, but among them, only 6,800 have at least 1 review. 80% have a rating of at least 4 out of 5, 17% have a rating between 3 and 3.9, and about the rest, meaning those containing a rating below 3 out of 5, well, there aren't many. More like 238, meaning 3%. It's not a huge number, but it is truly where you will find the highest conversion rate. Now, we have been talking about businesses with bad ratings, but they are not the only ones we are interested in. We can also separate businesses which have a website from those who don't. Still using the same sample, 43% don't have a website, which means that their online visibility is virtually non-existent, apart from Google Maps, of course, but even in there, they won't have a very high ranking, to be honest. Now, I wanted to know if there is some maybe less conventional way to filter this data out, and I immediately thought of the official Google Maps API. Seriously, what could have been better? I created my own project and now I'm using the Places API more specifically the text search API, which allows me to scrape business details from a keyword. If we scroll down the sidebar here, I can see I have a parameter called mean rating. Restricts results to only those whose average user rating is greater than or equal to this limit. Well, that might be a bit of a problem, because this filter is exactly the API version of that one. So we have a mean rating filter, but we don't have a max rating filter. It's nowhere to be found. And the same regarding the website filter. From this conclusion, we know it's a deliberate choice by Google not to make filtering this data too easy. The point is that if we really want to filter out this data, we can do it and we will do it because it's not that hard. We just can't do it before our request, but we can do it after. This is my database regarding restaurants in New York City. We have roughly 8,000 leads, a tiny bit more actually, 8,500. I'm looking for the rating column and I simply create a filter. And I want to filter by values, or more like filter by condition, less than 3. And now all our business pages have a review below 3 out of 5. Same thing for the website. We filter by condition is empty and all the items are website free. So we have seen how to filter by reviews and by website, but there is a third scenario that comes to mind. The problem is it's not as straightforward. It involves gathering information directly from businesses' websites. And not just any information, ideally information which will give us clues about their level of technical expertise. If we come back to our sample, we counted 4,800 restaurants with a website. And amongst them, 43% have implemented tracking pixels. That's what I mean by technical expertise. Well, look at that. Here is a website. I can view page source. And oh, what a coincidence. This website has been created using WordPress. Okay, but WordPress, what version? WordPress 6.9. Is it the most updated version? Yes or no? If not, maybe I can help you. And so on, you get my point. Another example, same thing. And it seems that this website has already installed Google Tag Manager, meaning it is ready to run some ads. Ads means budget, budget means ROI goals. Is this business actually profitable? Yes or no? If not, maybe I can help it. The problem here is that filtering this kind of data might be a bit more complicated. We can check this information manually, as we have just done, but if we have like a high volume of data, we are going to spend hours, if not days, doing it. Otherwise, we would have to create a custom script, but at that point, the barrier to entry is completely different. What we can do instead is to use Scrap.io. The idea behind it is that making a search on Google Maps has never been that easy. All I need is to insert a category among the 4,000 different categories. Then I target a specific country, United States, or, just one among 200. If I want to, I can specify a state or a county, or we can keep it simple, a city. And as expected, we have 8,500 restaurants. Now, we have said that those with a max rating of 3 out of 5 weren't that many. If we want a higher number of leads, we can look for the companies without a website. That's roughly 40%. Or to be more precise, I can target those with a website and with ad pixels. That's another option. If you are interested in that, you can use Scrap.io for free by clicking the link in the description. Your first 100 leads are completely offered.